Hello, here is my code, and here's the circuit. So we have a servo, a gas sensor, a temperature sensor, and an off and on switch. What the servo is going to do is turn 90 degrees if it gets input from the sensors that there is either gas emissions that has reached a dangerous level or temperature that has reached a dangerous level. And it'll turn 90 degrees, which is going to act as an electronic water valve. And what that is going to do is allow water flow and put out the fire. So the temperature sensor goes up to 255 degrees, which in real life we would need it to go up to about 1,000 degrees, because over 825 degrees is when we'd want to turn it on. But because we're in Arduino, I have it going over 230 degrees is when we'll turn it on. So here we go. Let me click off of that. All right, show the code. Okay, start simulation. So we're going to leave the temperature there. And what happens when the gas goes high? The servo switches. Now it's going to go until we put the fire out. So let's slowly put it out. And then the servo goes back to normal. And now it says gas was high. Well, it says gas was high because we're outputting a high output to pin number 11. And what this is going to do is send a signal to the third robot that the gas was high and that we had to trigger the water valve to put out the fire. Now we're going to put the gas back and show what happens if the temperature goes high. Same thing. We turn the servo and put out the fire. And what happens when it goes back down? Boom. The servo goes back to its normal starting position. It says temp was high because we put out an output to pin number 10, which is going to simulate sending a signal to the third robot that the temperature was high and we had to put out the fire. Now both of these can be high, which is showing as on the serial monitor, and that is what is showing. Now we can also turn the switch off, and now nothing works. You can see on the serial monitor it still shows up, but the servo is not going to move. So gas, nothing's going to work. All right, turn it back on. And that's pretty much all this does. Here is the code. Show it from the top. These are just possible prints I had that I could put in. The delay function I thought about putting in, but I thought it was better without it. And there is my code. All right, thank you for watching.